Have you ever considered asking your mom, your sister, or your female friend from Discord for advice on how to get that girl that you like from school, uni, or work? Dating coaches are expensive, so why not ask a woman, right? While this might feel tempting, it's not a very good idea, and it is very likely to get you rejected and broken. Let's see why. Number 1. Men and women often experience dating quite differently due to societal expectations and personal experiences. For instance, men are frequently expected to initiate dates and make the first move. This pressure can lead to anxiety about rejection or misreading signals. On the other hand, women might focus more on evaluating a man's intentions and ensuring their own comfort and safety in the dating process. When a woman gives dating advice to a man, she might base it on her experiences or preferences, like suggesting being more open about feelings or taking things slowly. However, this advice might not align with the man's experience, where showing vulnerability or moving too slowly could be misinterpreted or lead to missed opportunities. In short, advice from women might not always consider the challenges men face, like the pressure to initiate or the fear of rejection. It's essential to understand that both genders navigate the dating world differently, and what works for one might not work for the other. Number 2. Women often communicate with a focus on emotional nuances and subtleties. For instance, a woman might advise a man to be more sensitive and understanding during conversations. This advice is valuable, but a man might struggle with what this practically looks like. Does it mean agreeing more, asking more questions? The specifics can get lost. On the other hand, men might interpret advice more literally or directly. So when a woman suggests showing more interest, a man might think this means initiating more dates or being more expressive. However, the woman might be referring to deeper emotional engagement or better listening skills. This gap in communication styles can lead to advice that's hard to apply effectively. It's like trying to cook a complex dish with a recipe that assumes you already know certain cooking techniques. You understand the basic ingredients, but the method of combining them effectively can be puzzling. In essence, the advice from women isn't inherently flawed, but its application can be challenging for men due to differences in communication styles and interpretations. Number 3. Imagine a woman advising a man. All women love romantic gestures, so always bring flowers on a first date. This advice stems from a generalization. However, not all women appreciate the same romantic gestures. One woman might find flowers charming, another might see them as cliché, and a third might even have allergies. The advice, though well-intentioned, oversimplifies the diverse tastes and preferences of women. Similarly, consider the common advice. Women prefer men who take charge and make all the decisions on a date. This overlooks the fact that many women value collaboration and input in decision-making. For some, a man taking unilateral decisions might come off as domineering rather than confident. These examples highlight how generalizations can lead men astray in understanding what women want. In essence, such generalizations in dating advice don't account for the unique personalities, experiences, and preferences of individual women. They provide a simplified view that might not align with the complexities of real dating scenarios. Number 4. We often find a skewed focus towards prioritizing the woman's needs and preferences, potentially neglecting the man's own desires and boundaries. Consider a specific example. A woman advises a man, always make sure to plan dates around what she loves to do. While considerate, this advice might lead a man to consistently prioritize his date's interests over his own, resulting in a one-sided dynamic. It's essential for a relationship to have mutual enjoyment and shared experiences, but if a man constantly suppresses his own preferences, it can lead to dissatisfaction and a lack of authenticity in the relationship. Another common piece of advice might be, always agree with her to avoid conflict. This approach can lead to a lack of genuine communication and might prevent a man from expressing his true opinions and feelings, which are crucial for a healthy, balanced relationship. In summary, this kind of advice, though well-meaning, risks creating an imbalance where a man's own needs, interests, and perspectives are overshadowed, which is not conducive to a healthy, reciprocal relationship. Number 5. We can see how societal norms and expectations can shape and sometimes limit the effectiveness of this advice. For instance, in many cultures, there's a prevailing notion that men should be the primary initiators in dating. A woman might advise a man, "You should always make the first move." While this reflects a common social script, it doesn't account for individual personalities or the dynamics of modern dating where women are increasingly taking the initiative. A man who is naturally shy or prefers a more balanced approach might find this advice challenging and not in harmony with his personality. Another example is the advice rooted in traditional gender roles, like, "A man should always pay for the date." This advice can be limiting in a society where there's a growing appreciation for equality and sharing responsibilities. It might not resonate with men and women who prefer a more egalitarian approach to dating expenses.